Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Mike Pegram joins us. He's a partner in 5 casinos in northern Nevada, and a great story. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Up to $17,000 in cash and free play giveaways each week, and over $20,000 in giveaways on New Year's Eve, including up to $10K in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Ring in the holidays with $350,000 Big Holiday Extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free play, and up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're absolutely delighted to welcome to the program Mike Pegram. I've interviewed you many times over the years, but I think this is the first time actually on Nevada Newsmakers, so really a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Honored to be here.
And you are a managing partner with GPEG. You own 5 casinos.
Yes, sir.
And probably the 2 most famous ones are Tamarack in Reno, and then also the Carson Valley Inn, and they've been proud sponsors of this show, and thank you for that for many years now.
We're glad to be part of it.
All right, so let me start out with a little recent history. Were you surprised at how fast local gaming came back after COVID?
Yes.
Why?
Well, you know, COVID was such a thing. I mean, it was devastating to all of us. We did the unknown. You would look at your employees and, you know, they're wondering, is my paychecks coming? Are we ever going to get open? What is this going to be? Are we going to have to change our HVAC systems? How is the new world going to work? And, you know, then we got open with the social distancing, and I think the industry learned a lot because of the social distancing. And as it turned out, I hate to say this, but we did get a lot of key findings in gaming, especially local gaming.
For example?
For example, social distancing. You know, for years you would just cram as many slot machines as you could in a row and, you know, with slots in the box. Now you go in any casino, you look at the slot layout. The customers have much more room. You're not shoulder to shoulder. We also found out utilizations of machines. And I think COVID made us a lot smarter. So we did come out, and there was probably a positive that being shut down and coming back with social distancing that we found out in the gaming industry that, you know, when you get a lemon, you try to make lemonade. And we got a lemon, and some lemonade did come out of it.
Carson Valley, and you got a lot of hotel rooms as well as the motel rooms. that industry seems to have changed as well, become much more efficient. Maybe things that you were looking at for 5-10 years down the road suddenly came into play. Am I right about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the big resorts now, you know, but the world has changed with Uber, DoorDash, delivery, so on and so forth, where it used to be probably all the resorts were losing money with room service. Now you have the delivery factor, which you took a negative and created a positive into it.
Do you think that there's any danger, because especially, and I should point out, you are a board member of Caesars Entertainment. Is there any danger that by removing certain kinds of services, like room service, for example, that, you know, the prices keep going up, the highest ADR as we've seen, as you saw from the gaming numbers. But at the same time, there seems to be, you know, not necessarily cleaning the room every day, not necessarily doing room service. How does that affect the customer down the road? Maybe not today, but 5 years from now.
You know, we work for the customer. The successful people in this industry works for the customer, and they get that real quick. And the customer will demand what we need to give them. The customer was just happy when we got open coming out of COVID, and I think you're seeing the amenities starting to roll back in. Will they roll back in at the same level? Not because it's cost cutting, it's because of what the consumer wants. And the consumer will tell us what it is, and the people that will adjust to those consumer demand will be the winners.
When you look at a property, you know, and you've always fascinated me by this because, as you know, I was involved with the Carson Valley Inn for many years before you bought the property, because of a family that I had in the Carson Valley at the time. And it was a property that had not been taken care of, and yet I could see the potential for it sitting there on the road coming from California, but it just needed money invested into it. And yet nobody was doing it. At the same time, people were complaining that, well, we're just not getting the business, Indian gaming is killing us, all these excuses. What was it that you saw that made you go, hey, this can be a heck of a property, because now the place is just booming?
Well, you know, my background is McDonald's, and I was a franchisee back in 1975, so I watched the growth of McDonald's. And the one thing that you learn, or I was taught, going through that business career, was you need to spend money when you don't have it. And that's what ends up happening. And in there, you get so far behind on your capital improvements, then people can't see the forest for the trees, and it takes a new set of eyes. We were the new set of eyes that came in and did that type of thing. And, you know, we're very proud the way we came back in and revitalized the Carson Valley Inn and brought it back kind of to its glory days, and we are the center of the community, and we take that very serious. We know that we have a responsibility to the community.
Well, you also brought in entertainment on a scale that I doubt that most people would have wanted to take a gamble on. TJ's Corral is a huge outdoor venue. What, it holds up to 2,000 people, right? In the Carson Valley Inn.
Right. Well,
and yet you sell out darn near every concert that you put on there.
You know, I guess my hero in business was Ray Kroc. And Ray had all sorts of sayings, and one was be first, be different, be daring. And you always tried to differentiate yourself from the competition. And the reason the way TJ Corral came about was Harrison Harvey's was doing their outdoor events, and we kept on hearing from people how expensive things were getting up there and having to drive up the hill, and people just didn't realize the population base. And we had Bodine's in Carson City, so you know you had 100,000 people between Carson City and the Valley, and we took a chance. And you know, we look at it today. Would we have built it a little different? Not a whole lot. And I mean, it turned out to be a beautiful facility, and the names we've ended up getting there, it amazes me. Sometimes I got to pinch myself, because where we started and where we've ended up, again, it has evolved to what the consumer wanted.
Tamarack, Tamarack was a recently opened property in casino terms. It's what, maybe 20 years old at this point? 15,
It opened right at 9/11.
Okay, so 2001. So a little over 20 years. There was concern at the time, I recall, that Station Casinos was going to open a massive property down at the Summit Sierra Mall, or across the street from it. And so they built out Tamarack as far as they could at that time. That has been an incredibly successful property. Stations has never built. They keep thinking that they're going in, and then they back away and back away. So, do you have plans for growth? Because South Reno is growing like a weed.
Well, currently we are under plans to put a resident inn just south of the Tamarack on property that we have acquired there. So there will be a hotel that will be adjoining to the Tamarack. And again, it will just come back to consumer demand. As you could tell during COVID, again, at a time of uncertainty, we went under a major remodel at that point in time, and took out the steakhouse, opened up more gaming floor. We then relocated a different style at the steakhouse back in where the old arcade was, and kind of shrunk the sports bar. So again, it was just something that you had to have a new vision of looking at, even though we did not expand the footprint. But there's a whole different feel of the Tamarack now than where it was, because after 20 years, it is time to start mixing things up. And we go through that at the Carson Valley Inn. Now, we've been at the Carson Valley Inn now for, I cannot believe this, but for 12 years.
Wow.
And we're constantly now saying, okay, what's the next thing? We've added TJ Corral. We went in and remodeled. We're in our second full remodels of rooms. It's unbelievable that we've done that in over the 12 years. But again, that's what the consumer demands.
How many rooms are you looking at the Residence Inn?
There'll be 128.
Okay, because it seems that product, that Businessman's Hotel, has been incredibly popular in Northern Nevada with the expansion at TRI. People don't necessarily want to stay out at TRI because there's not that much hotel availability, right. But it seems that there's a lot of these residence-type places for business people.
Yes, and I think we'll be very successful with that brand. And anytime you can team with Marriott, and matter of fact, we're in discussions with Marriott right now to add another product down in the Carson Valley.
Really?
Yes.
That will be an interesting addition.
Yes.
Is that also going to be in the 100 to 200 room range?
It'll be in the 100 room range right there.
One of the issues that has come up, obviously, since COVID has been getting employees back to work. How is that working out for you at this point? Is it still a major challenge?
Yes, it is totally a major challenge, and it's not only to our little company, but I think every employer, in whether it's gaming or non-gaming, will tell you the same thing in Northern Nevada. And it is a concern, and the quality of the workforce and the dependability of the workforce. It has all changed. I mean, COVID definitely has changed our culture in business and in society.
We had Elisa Keferata on the program, who heads up Dieter, and she was saying that businesses have to adjust and accommodate people's schedules because they don't want to have the regular 40-hour week that people had before. I talked to somebody and said, well, for example, in construction, could you have somebody who runs a skip loader, maybe it's one person doing a 40-hour week, could you have 3 people running that skip loader, but they're only working 10, 15 hours a week apiece? And they came back to me and said, well, the problem there is nobody's going to work without benefits. The benefits would kill you. So is there any reality to that kind of concept?
Well, the concept is we're going to have to adjust. The world has adjusted, how many different things that we've seen in our lifetime, Sam. So we're still trying to figure it out. We'll get it figured out, but the hospitality industry, it's always been tough in the labor market type thing, and it's even getting tougher.
Are robotics the answer? Well, one of them?
Well, robotics and hospitality don't I can't make that connection. But then again, go into any major hotel now and see how the front desk has changed just over the last 10 years, with the self kiosks, so on and so forth. No different than look at a casino cage today compared to where a casino cage was even 10 years ago. So automation has came into play. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But you can never lose that personal touch.
Well, I am prone to agree with you. I think that people, especially in the sales area, which hospitality is to an extent because you're interacting, it's an entertainment thing, being able to look somebody in the eye and have a conversation is a big deal. But so many people now, they want to be on this phone. Yeah. They don't want to talk to you. Some families, there's 3 people in the room and they're not talking to each other, they're texting each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, I've told you we're going down this little path with Marriott right now. And I look at their plans and look at it sometimes and I scratch my head and say, well, why are you doing that? Well, they're doing that because Marriott is the leader in the hotel industry.
Sure.
And just look the way they design their rooms today compared to where they were designing their rooms 10 years ago. So the consumer demands that. In my honest opinion as a businessman, it's the human touch that makes the difference. I think that is, in my opinion, is the difference maker of picking the winners and the losers.
It's interesting you say that because in several people I've talked to, when the El Dorado Resorts, which you were a board member of before Caesars, took over Caesars, the family that had existed in El Dorado up in northern Nevada was then transferred to Las Vegas. And so to me as an observer, the transition was much smoother than it was when Harrah's took over Caesars years ago, when the Caesars people were very offended that why is this little company taking us over? In this case, it seems like they were welcomed with open arms because they were being treated like family.
Absolutely, and we all know the legacy of Don Carano, and everybody knows that Don was the king of hospitality, and now he passed it on to his sons, and now Anthony, being the CEO of Caesars, being the 3rd generation of the Carano family. I mean, I'm just proud to be part of it, but I think that is the biggest thing is Caesars now has a policy of family-style service, which started at the El Dorado, that was started by Don Carano, and it is a legacy that will continue to live.
Don Carano said, we can't afford Frank Sinatra, so our food is our Frank Sinatra. Amazing. Yep. All right, let's take a break. More with Mike Pegram when we come back.
Okay.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Ring in the holidays with $350,000 big holiday extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free play, and up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Mike Pegram. He is the owner, along with his partners, of 5 casinos in Northern Nevada, and he's also a board member of Caesars Entertainment. So you have horse races, or horses, I should say, that you race. You were the winner of the 1998 Kentucky Derby with your horse, and the Preakness Stakes winner with Real Quiet, 2010 Preakness Stakes winner. That's a very high end. I'm not sure that people who are not involved in horse racing realize how high end it is. It is the sport of kings, as they say. Now another sport of kings, in a way, is coming to Las Vegas, which is Formula One. So if you would flip your hat to looking at Las Vegas for us for a minute, it seems to me that this is a real game changer for Las Vegas.
It sure seems like that. You know, talking to the people at Caesars and the excitement that you see going on, bringing a whole different fan base of what they're used to seeing. You know, it has the international flavor to it, and the excitement and being, you know, the bringing it to Vegas. I think it's just going to be an absolute blowout.
Well, and the company that is in charge of Formula One has made a significant investment in, 140 acres down there on Harmon. They're going to have to spend $30 million just on the actual road to prepare it. And one of Caesar's competitors, I won't mention the name, but you know, if you're in the gaming industry, you could win, put up $1 million package, but it is split between 6 people, so it's very affordable. I mean, that sounds crazy, but it's not for the kind of people that are coming.
No, exactly, and that's the one thing that Las Vegas, where in the gaming industry in itself, because let's face it, gaming is really entertainment.
Yes.
And you know, it's how far can you push that envelope? And it is just absolutely great to see it, and I know Caesars is just excited about being part of it. And it is I think it's gonna put a different view on Las Vegas after this race.
Oh, I would agree 100%. There's a guy, this was reported in the Review Journal, who's paying $125,000 a night for a penthouse at Palms Place that can't even see the race from that penthouse. And it's a 3-night minimum, so that's a pretty good deal. You should think about that in pricing for Carson Valley. Let's take another break. More with Mike Pegram after this time out.
Ring in the holidays with $350,000 big holiday extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free play, and up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Up to $17,000 in cash and free play giveaways each week, and over $20,000 in giveaways on New Year's Eve, including up to $10K in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Mike Pegram. He is the managing partner of GPEG Group that owns 5 casinos in northern Nevada, and he's also a board member of Caesars Entertainment. After all of the kerfuffle, Adele finally pulls off weekends at Adele at the Coliseum. Was it everything that you thought it would be?
I have not personally gone down and seen the show, but everything I've heard, everybody is very happy. I think she's very happy. I know the management's very happy with what's going on, and most importantly, it's getting rave reviews.
It's stunning that, you know, for a long time, Adele was not going to perform in Las Vegas because there wasn't a venue. One would have thought that Allegiant would be the place that she would play, and yet that Coliseum is home to the biggest stars.
Oh, it truly is, you know, and with the recent signing of the biggest country singer in the world.
Mr. Garth Brooks.
Yeah, and it's, you know, but that just goes to say that venue was built right for the people, and there's magic around that Caesar's name.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, nobody was going to change the name from Caesars to something else. That just wouldn't make sense. The Raiders Stadium, potential for the A's, and then the potential for an additional stadium. Can Vegas just keep going like this?
Vegas keeps on amazing people, and I would never bet against Vegas.
No, neither would I. Mike Pegram, thank you so much for doing this. I know that this is a very rare thing for you to do. I really appreciate it. Continued great success with everything you do.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerhour, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVRJ.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's Development Company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's Development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Ring in the holidays with $350,000 big holiday extravaganza at Carson Valley Inn. Over 1,000 winners. Weekly cash, free play, and up to $10K in cash every Saturday. And 2 grand prize drawings. Win up to $20,000 in cash. 'Tis the season for winning big at the Carson Valley Inn.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. We'll see you on the next show.